Okay, hello, my name's Fred Raynor, and I just want to tell you what exactly happened at Roman Cafe Motorcycles in Grantham. I was recruited by a guy called Chris Searson. I was previously working for Harley Davidson in Nottingham, and recruited by Chris Searson to go and run this fantastic all-encompassing motorcycle venue called Roman Cafe Motorcycles, strangely enough. He told me that he got this vision for a big biker site that had a campground, accommodation, showroom, absolutely everything for the biker, paint facility, workshop, the whole lot. So you could pull up, you could have your bike valeted while you stayed at a rally over a weekend, you can have it serviced, you can have it painted, pinstripe, whatever. Now, the 4.5 acre site, when I joined the company, the 4.5 acre site that he had in mind, he hadn't actually purchased at that point, so that was a little bit disappointing. When he did actually finally put a little bit of money into it, a deposit into it, and got a commercial mortgage on the site and bought it, we then find out that there was no planning permission at that time to build anything other than to rebuild the CAF, which we had to knock down due to the fact that the building was quite rotten. So what do? We put a temporary CAF up there, porter cabin, to at least have a venue for people to have a ride out to. And in the meantime, we operate the bike business out of a temporary workshop in the centre of Grantham. And obviously we wanted to diversify and look at other things, so we made several pitches to the different bike manufacturers, settling with Victory and Kawasaki as franchisers. Now, they gave us the franchise based on this fantastic site that was going to be. But the council came back and told us that there actually was no planning permission, and never was going to be any planning permission for that site for anything other than a CAF due to traffic reasons. So with that option out of the window, all we had left to do was find some premises to operate a dealership out of, a standard dealership if you like, in conjunction with the fact that we had the CAF site as a ride-out venue. We looked at taking on the Vauxhall franchise in Grantham, not the Vauxhall franchise itself, but the premises, the old premises that the Vauxhall dealership ran out of, with a view to taking Victory and Kawasaki into there, and they were quite excited about that. But the problem is, obviously, we need a deposit to rent that building, and we couldn't raise the deposit. Now, bearing in mind that Chris Searson, when he first recruited me and spoke to anybody, in fact, told them that he was funding behind all of this, we couldn't raise the deposit, the three months deposit, £8 grand, to move into the place, so we couldn't have the franchises. And the reason we couldn't raise that deposit was because some of Chris's other business interests behind the scenes had gone a little bit sour on him. He basically had fallouts with other directors at a company he had an involvement with. I can't say too much for legal reasons, and he therefore couldn't draw a salary from it. And Chris was drawing a salary, or not a salary, but he was dipping into our pot. And being a new business, barely breaking even and struggling to survive and get going, he was raiding the pot, and therefore there was no money to put down as deposit. With no money to put down as deposit, no franchises, no way forward, I resigned in June 2008 this year, and so did Brock Hadlow, the junior mechanic at the time. Now, there were several bikes that needed work doing and that were still being finished that were there, and there was a mechanic that we left behind to finish off those projects, and Chris was given a list of things that needed to be finished. Now, some of those bikes, A, haven't been finished. They've been seized by the bailiffs, should I say, and several people are asking me how they get access to their bikes, which they've actually paid up front to have done, and nothing's been done. The money's gone. As recently as yesterday, I had a phone call from a guy that had paid £1,000 to have his bike started. He paid another £1,000 4 weeks ago to Chris, which Chris happily took, knowing that the company was on its last legs, and he still hasn't got his bike. It's now been seized by the bailiffs. I'll do what I can to help people. This isn't a personal vendetta against Chris. I'm just fed up with having to explain this story. So hopefully, I can refer people to this now. That is basically the potted history of Roman Cafe Motorcycles, which is no more. The CAF has gone, and so has the bike workshop. Thanks.